milkers. If I can remember, I'm gonna forget. How the fuck was Savage trying to make me look like shit for flirting with an 18-year-old on the show when I didn't even realize he was 18 at the time? When Savage later in the same later in a stream like yesterday, I think, she said she kissed Brantley, and Brantley's 24 and Savage, honey, you're 50. And you had
kissed who?
Brantley. She kissed Brantley on the lips. Right?
I don't know about that. None of my business.
She doesn't even just kiss ass. She kisses lips, and I bet you if she could, she would kiss both kinds. I'm as flabbergasted as you are, Tina. Absurd.
Damn. Maybe that's why she was screaming for her today, thinking she could help her.
I bet so. Oh my God, Anna said she kissed Nightmare too. Listen, I don't know if there's any truth to this, but I saw in the lolcowlive chat, I also caught Twiggy in the chat, and he said, are we going to talk about how Savage was trying to cheat on her husband at that camp? I have no idea. You guys know I was only there. I wasn't even there when Savage was there, so I have no idea. But Twiggy, oh, you know what? I'm not gonna call Twiggy up. I don't even know if he could come up. But goddamn, am I curious?
I don't know. No.
I'm just saying. I never kissed Brantley. I never kissed Keem. Who's the one who's being inappropriate? She says I was being inappropriate with our followers. What is tongue fucking your boss's wife? What is that? Is that appropriate? Wife to be?
That's what I destroyed that John.
I've never seen it. So
Albert.
I don't know what you're talking about.
She tried to tongue fuck her way to the top, Tina. You can't not be okay with my flirting and be okay with that. That is disgusting. She's somebody's mama. She's somebody's mama. You're who ass grandma? Who ass grandma doing that? All right, now I'm gonna stop. Sometimes I just remember these things. It's like a fucking intrusive thought. I'm sitting here and then all of a sudden I remember, ew, she kissed Brantley. Like what the fuck? Like anybody wants to kiss that wrinkly old ashtray. Anyway. Aaron, you're getting high too. We're all in good company. She's trying to tongue fuck her way to the top. Tongue fuck, ass fuck, pussy, every kind of fuck. Front ways, back ways, sideways, diagonally and diagon alleyways. You know she tried to rub her titties all over you, Tina. She was flirt-tittying with you.
I guess I know what it feels like when I hit a concrete block in the middle of the road with my car.
Maybe, Tina, she gets so offended when you call her titties hard. Maybe she gets so offended because they're only hard for you.
No, they're hard for everybody. Trust me. No. Nope. You gotta get those things switched out every fucking 10 years or 20 years.
I'll behave.
No.
I bet she wanted to glaze Brantley's lips like a donut.
Yeah.
I bet she thought Brantley would have to get flood insurance.
I doubt it. That's gross. Next. I don't want to know that stuff. Well, people do this for business. I'm not doing it. I got nothing to do with it. I don't got nothing to do with it.
Oh, I'm looking at my notes. Members only content will be coming soon as well. So we're going to be adding more of that. So, oh, you know what?
What?
Probably for people who can't make the whole stream, maybe we can like go through and I can, or somebody who likes to edit can help us just clip out all the like good clip reactions or whatever. And then we can make that members only or something. Right. Just something extra for people who don't want to have to sit through the whole stream.
That makes sense. Makes perfectly good sense.
The mods are roasting. Twisted SMF, I see you roasting Savage. I set up the redirect.
Who's roasting her?
No, one of the mods, Twisted SMF.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't think you said who. I thought you said ew, and I was confused.
So we are back, right? After Queens, had their big rally, 2 streams of them feeling like they are top of the world, right? Making so much money, feeling like they're dominant, only to spark a little conflict that would result in Becky snapping out, crashing out so hard that you can feel it across the world. And to me, it's what you expect. The usual rigmarole crash out that have a stream where they just beg, not really beg, but just kind of demand donation or ask for donation, feel happy. And then going from there, and then we'll have a couple streams where it's just Tina and Becky fighting, and then another couple streams of them fighting with the milker or fighting with another channel, right? That's how it usually is, right? It always is like that, right? It's sort of a pattern, right? Fight with the milker, crash out, make a lot of money, fight with, have a couple streams where it's just her and Tina having a good time, start fighting, repeat the cycle over and over. It doesn't end, and then Becky gets into her feeling, and then she thinks, Keemstar, who, let's be real, is kind of a terrible person regardless. It's really just the cycle over and over and over again.
Anybody by not doing that? Go ahead, Keem.
Can you guys please fight the milkers and not me and Mike?
I'm not fighting the milkers. You've just shown.
Chris also super chatted $20. Quiet your being, Becky. We know you're going on strike again. Roach Gang, stuck it up, Becky.
No, I'm not going on strike again. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to let Keem's actions speak for themselves.
Okay, but just fight the people you're actually
I'm
fighting.
not fighting
Don't-
them anymore, Keem, because it's clearly not safe. This is beyond hostile. So no, I'm not
This
going to
is-
fight them. I'm not going to fight them and print money for you to line your pockets while you're safe in your mansion, and I'm here dealing with this and trying to juggle my mental health. So no, I'm not going to fight the milkers. The milkers can go live their own wonderful lives and fail on their own, and we'll live
I'm
ours.
so confused because you just like thanked the audience like 15 different times during this stream for the great show that you had the day before. So
I thank them for their support, and you know what that came at the cost of, Keem? My mental health. It's not a fucking joke. That wasn't some free fucking lunch. That
Okay,
shit
well, then
almost
don't-
took me out yesterday. Do you understand? We've already discussed this. I'm not explaining it again. If you don't see the value in a human life or making your employees feel safe at work, you don't see the value. I'm glad I know what kind of employer I work for. That's all.
okay, so you shift the blame from the milkers to now Keemstar and Mike, which we predicted from the very beginning how this would play out.
The blame is on Savage for choosing to do what she did, and her getting fired is a consequence of her actions. I just blame you for not doing what you said you would do. If you don't want to be a man of your word, that's on you. It's cool. Now I know what kind of man you are.
Okay, well, I did not say that I was going to fire her. You just lied right now. So.
It's not lying. Mike did, and he represents you.
No,
Mike
you
is
said-
your manager. Mike manages us. He's the manager you hired. Therefore, you as the boss of the company are ultimately responsible for him. We've had this conversation before. I'm not here to convince you, Keem. If that's how you feel about them, and if that's how you feel about me, I'm just glad I know it. Like, fuck it. I don't care. I can't. What? Why do you even want? What is the point of continuing to talk about it? No, because Keem, it's
Am I
my
allowed to
show. Here's the thing. It's my show. And if you're just going to come here and aggravate me more, I've already had enough. I'm past my limit for what I can deal with. So if you want to keep talking about this, you can talk to Tina, and I'll step away, and somebody can text me when you guys are done. How does that
my
sound?
my feelings right now are hurt because you keep telling these people that I'm not a man of my word and that
You're
I said
not.
certain things that I didn't say. And I feel like that you're not respecting my boundaries. I feel like that you are purposely painting me as this horrible bad guy. And it hurts my fifis because I feel like I'm a good guy and I've helped you out and I've helped Savage out and I'm trying to help everyone out. And
Farmers super chatted $20. Okay, we heard Mike say that. Do you have receipts of Keem signing off what Mike said?
No, and you're right. I'm conflating the two. I'm putting Keem and Mike together because from my vantage point, I respond to both of them equally. It doesn't matter, but apparently I don't need to respect or listen to anything Mike says because none of it matters.
Becky, I'm sure at some point I've told you, actually I know for a fact I've told you, hey, if you do this, you're fired, right?
And I've
guess what?
never
You-
done anything that I didn't make up for. And you know, there's like one specific case where that happened mostly with cat food, and you know why that happened. So enough of the bullshits.
Oh no, like I said, if you were not there the first week of Fat Camp, you're fired. Like what? And you weren't
Oh,
there.
that's okay, fine. That's a little different. But look, ultimately, you chose to take me back, but I wasn't specifically targeting your other hosts and trying to bully them and take them down. And why wasn't I? And Keem, why wasn't I at Fat Camp the first day? Savage. You remember that? I said I didn't feel safe about her back then.
You're rewriting history because you were cool with Savage. That's not why you weren't there.
Originally, that was the reason. That was the reason that kicked off all the fighting that made you say shit about my parents, that made me quit the LCU. We don't need to rehash all that. Look, if this is your decision, I'm sorry that your feelings are hurt. Guess what? My feelings are hurt that you don't care enough about.
And again, this is the whole rigmarole, right? During this cycle, right, you'll have Becky fighting with Keemstar, where good old Becky is just disappointed that Keemstar never is a man of his words. I mean, he never has been. He's known for this, right? And how is Becky any better, right? Becky tried to use examples that don't really make her look any better, right? She tried to say that she got 2 or 3 or whatever people out of the LCU. First off, she kind of admitted that she was the main reason behind R2 from leaving. I wonder why. Becky. And then she uses Grace and Lynx. But let's be fair, like, she's trying to take credit for Grace. And Grace is very much self-sabotaging, so can't really take credit. And for Lynx, it was mostly because Lynx kept calling you out and pointing out your flaw and just didn't want to work with you guys anymore. She just wanted to do her own thing and just be an assistant. How many times have we gone through this, right? It's this whole cycle of cry, fight, then blame, and then just back to normal for a couple stream, repeat it over and over. And that's really how I feel, right? It's always the same thing over and over. And obviously, when you're working with Keemstar, you're not going to be treated like a person. When you're working with content creators, you're never going to be treated as a person or have any real rights, because at the end of the day, your end goal is to be entertaining. Your end goal is to exploit yourself or whoever for the sake of content. And that's just the sad truth about it all. Yeah, Becky is trying to go with this whole moral grandstand. It's very moral F slur. I've seen a number of times in the past. She's always trying to think that, if I just use this as the grift or use this, maybe, and it never works. It never works out for her.
This.
That's not true.
You
Oh my
don't,
God.
in my opinion, you don't. Because if I knew I had an employee under me who was going through this, I'm sorry, but I would protect them.
$20, and I never did anything I didn't make up for, so why can't Savage make up for her mistake?
She could make up for it with a bigger punishment. I shaved my head when I came
Can
back.
I just talk, like everyone knows this to be true. If I were to fire everyone that Becky told me to fire, there'd be like half the people would be gone.
No, that's not true, because who did I suggest firing? Voldemort 1 and Voldemort 2 was correct about both of them. Who else did I suggest firing? Review Tech USA was correct about him. I would have saved you a lot of headache. But listen, I'm not here to argue with you. Apparently, both of our feelings are hurt. It is what it is.
Why?
It is what it is. On with the show. On with the show. It must go on. I'd rather move on to more pleasant things.
But you're still going to talk about this.
I'm trying to move on to more pleasant things. If people ask about it, I'm going to respond. But if they want to say, this is my fault, I'm going to play the clip. Just like if I were to say stuff about you, you come and respond. That's how it goes.
Since I publicly predicted the future that you guys would get in a fight and then you guys would both come and blame me and Mike, right? Instead of each other for things, right? Since I predicted that, let me predict another thing. This fight's not going to end. And it's going to keep going.
Never.
It's going to keep going and keep going and keep going.
Keem, it ends with me because I do not feel safe fighting them here. So I will.
They're not going to come to your house.
Tina,
Jesus Christ.
let me express my thoughts and feelings on this. I'm allowed to do that. I am not going to fight with them so that I can make other people money at the risk of my mental health and my safety. I'm sorry. They can say all the shit they want. I don't fucking care. I'm not responding.
Becky, I know you too well. You are going to fight with them.
Okay, you're entitled to that opinion. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm not giving them my fucking time. I don't care.
I'm going to get a call. You need to fire them. They said this or they did this.
I guess you didn't listen to enough of the stream where I actually said it was better for me if they don't get fired. That actually in one way keeps me safer, but it also lets me know that I can never trust anything Mike says again. So I'm sorry. That is not a satisfactory answer to me.
Becky, you're blaming Mike. You're blaming Keemstar.
Because
right?
if I told you, Keem, I'm going to show up to work tomorrow at 8 p.m. and then I don't show up at 8 p.m., I'm to blame. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, she's getting a fucking punishment for that.
Cool. Well, so look, it is what it is. All good. Whatever.
And like the Roxy thing that you showed, like I think it's good that you show it. And
I don't care about it.
your...
Keem, why? At this point, as far as I'm concerned, anything you're saying is for damage control for yourself because it's not to my benefit. So I don't want to hear it. It's just going to make me cry.
I'm not getting canceled.
It's just,
Discord.
Keem, this is not what I want to do today. I'm going to step away and I'm not going to fucking cry over this again.
25 super chatted $19.99. She building a case.
I will be back in a
Keem.
few minutes. Tina can come back and do whatever.
Well, I just want to say, like, you know, these fights happen, and then I constantly get blamed from both sides, not just queens, but from milkers, that it's me and Mike's fault, right? We're not in the fight. They're in the fight with each other, and they want us to punish each other, and they want us to fire each other. And then when I call in to defend myself, I can't even get a word in.
I don't think anybody should get fired. Goddamn, let's argue. Fuck it.
I mean, it was pretty entertaining, but, you know, at Becky's expense. You know, obviously she's
expense. They did it to me today about my dad. T-Pack was up there talking about real life. Savage sent me cat litter to me. My son, I shit and throw it out the window. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? Who cares?
All I know is
she always have to use this victim mentality of like, well, I don't feel safe. I'm like, well, you started a lot of fight. You created your own enemies, right? You're the reason for your villains, right? I guess, right? Again, it's like this whole thing of being the victim and then not taking accountability. I don't think I have the clip where she almost cried. That's my apology on that. But it's like the same thing every single time. And just a part of me is like, I think Keemstar just keeps her around because he just makes money or easy money. And it's, you know, let's be real, when you see a crying woman, you're going to feel bad, especially guys, right? We have this sort of innate chemical response, right? I don't want to be, I don't know the exact term, right? I don't want to simply just say it's just a chemical response, right? Well, when we see a woman crying or in pain, we have a sense of duty to take care of them or make them feel better. It was just a true thing. Let's be real. And her being safe is like, well, again, you spark these fights and you get punched in the face so hard, and then even though you were sort of the first one to throw punches, actually, if you really want to go far back, if you think about it, it really started with Tina, who kind of threw the first punches, and then, you know, you're the one who has to take the brunt of it because you're just an easy target. You're the soft belly. That's really what it comes down to. Normally, I'm more about like, oh no, I don't know where I was going with that one, but that's how I see it, right? And then she tries to use again like the examples of her leaving or quitting, but it's like, come on, you did those unto yourself. Why are you trying, I guess it keeps to say rewriting history? It's not even about rewriting history or reframing it. It's more like, why are you just so blatantly lying when we clearly know that's not the case? It's like, I don't know. I think I said this in my stream already, but it's like Becky is the type of person to throw the first punch, get punched back, and then a cry bully basically. She's just a cry bully. And then she tried to play victim, and then everybody looks at her like, you can't play victim if you're the one who did it, and then try to get the principal involved and then make all these demands or threaten. That's really what it comes down to. And honestly, I don't really feel bad for Keemstar because he created his own monster. He created her and just intensify her personality to be what it is. Let's be real, I don't feel bad. I think he deserves it. And hell, I'm here for it. If anyone asks, like, oh, do you feel bad? Like, no, I don't. And the more I think about it, I really don't. For me, I'll be real, it's just content to see him suffer for creating his own monsters. And really, like anybody else, go for it, right? Profit off of him creating his own monsters. And that's really what it is. He just created his own monster. He created a cycle of a monster that only real option is to just fire her or completely shut down everything, and he won't. With that being said, y'all, have a good one, be safe, and God bless.